Is NBA 2K18 on the Nintendo Switch a good port? Well, sit on my lap. Let's sit down and discuss this. Before I get on with the rest of this video, I just wanted to give an apology to my fan base that's been wondering what's up with my inactivity recently. I'll leave a link in the description with an explanation as to why everything's been happening, what's been going on with me, why I've been so inactive. But for the rest of you guys that are just here wondering if 2K is a good port, you don't give a damn about my personal life, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Let me give you some background as to what kind of person is telling you about this NBA 2K18 Switch edition. I am a huge NBA fan, a huge NBA 2K fan. I play every single 2K. Every single year, 2K is my most played game throughout the entire year, spending hundreds and hundreds of hours on 2K each and every single year. So 2K is a pretty big deal to me, and I was very excited for 2K18 and extremely excited for it to be on the Switch because I also am a huge fan of portable gaming. I've experienced some of my favorite games of all time on portable systems in Persona 4 Golden, Danganronpa, stuff like that, and I just really appreciate handheld gaming. So the Switch is like my wet dream, you know what I'm saying? Like, when the Switch was announced and revealed and everything, I was like, they literally made a console for me. And barring that the differences between games aren't too drastic, they don't lack any features or anything like that, usually I will opt for a Nintendo Switch version of any single game because I really do value that portability so much. Whether I'm on the toilets going ham, I have the Nintendo Switch by my side. Whether I'm on Netflix in my bed, I have the Nintendo Switch by my side. But that doesn't answer the question, is the port good, yes or no? Short answer, yes, with some stipulations. If you are a hardcore 2K player, you are going to notice some differences between the version you've been playing on the PS4 or the Xbox One in comparison to the one on the Nintendo Switch. And the major differences you're going to see are in terms of performance, because all the features, from what I can tell, are perfectly present in the Switch edition. You have the My Park, you have My Team, My GM, everything like that. My Career, obviously. Anything you would want to be able to do on the Nintendo Switch version, you can do. And huge shout out to 2K for not making a shitty port. They really wanted to make a great port with this one, and they did the best that they could, and I gotta say, I'm very impressed with it. Now, how does it perform? For most parts, surprisingly well. The graphics are on the screen now. You can judge for yourself on how it looks. I personally don't mind the way it looks because I will take a hit in graphics performance if it means having the flexibility of the Nintendo Switch, which of course I do. The game is running at a locked 30 frames per second, no 60 frames available here, but again, to me, that isn't the biggest issue. The biggest issue I have with the port of NBA 2K18 on the Nintendo Switch is, oddly enough, it has to do with the 2K camera angle. For those of you guys out there that play 2K, you all know we don't play on broadcast. We're not scrubs out here, boy. We play with the 2K camera angle. It gives you a wider field of view. You get to see more depth into where people are standing on the court, and it's just a lot easier and more fluid to play like that. Sure, broadcast is what you see on the TV, and that's good for, like, maybe if you're a spectator, you don't really know what you're doing. But once you get down to the nitty-gritty, playing in 2K camera angles is just the way to go. The negative to this is that there are some performance hits that the Switch version seems to take while in this mode. I don't know if you can tell on video, but I'll switch between the broadcast mode and the 2K camera angle so you guys can see. Maybe you guys can see it, I don't know, but I definitely 1000% see it and I feel it. When the game is playing through the broadcast camera angle, it's perfect. Obviously, it's not 60 frames per second, but it is a smooth 30, no hiccups. It performs perfectly. And then I switch it to the 2K camera angle and a different story is told here. It feels a lot more jittery. It feels kind of like I'm playing NBA Live, honestly. Like it's kind of more clunky. It doesn't feel as smooth. Now, I don't know if this is because 30 frames is way more forgiving in the broadcast camera angle, or if it's just a thing of this is just something that is wrong with the port. And if it is, which I hope it is, I'm breathing a sigh of relief because I feel like this can easily be patched out. And it does seem like 2K is committed to making the Switch version of NBA 2K18 as good as it possibly can. So I'm putting my faith in them that this will be patched out. It is a bummer because that is the mode that I like to play on. After playing for a few hours, I did kind of get used to it, but it is a bummer that, you know, one of my favorite game releases of the year is stifled by this, and I would definitely like to see it fixed. If this gets fixed, then I think for the most part, this is just a great port of NBA 2K18. I think it works great. Now, you're probably wondering, how does handheld mode work? And now this is also very interesting. This has happened a few times with the Switch version of games, but interestingly enough, the handheld version seems to run better than the docked version with, again, a few stipulations here. The 2K camera angle works flawlessly in handheld mode. I couldn't notice any lag. Maybe it's because it is a smaller screen instead of my big TV or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it just feels a lot better to play it on the smaller screen, handheld mode. I don't feel any lag. I don't feel any stiffness. It just feels, it feels right. But when I play it in docked, that's when, again, I have those problems where it feels jittery and it feels quite stiff and it doesn't feel smooth in the slightest. Handheld mode doesn't suffer from like frame drops or anything like that when I'm playing the game. Everything just runs fine. I have just a huge round of applause to 2K for making the handheld version, the handheld mode rather, perfectly playable. It plays amazingly. The one issue that I did find was with my career. Now, the only time I did run into this issue was when I had powered the system down and then came back to it a few moments later to turn it on. So maybe that messed with something, because when you put the system into sleep mode, you do lose connection to the 2K servers. And anybody that plays 2K knows that if you're playing my career and you lose connection to the 2K servers, or you get disconnected or whatever, you lose your VC, which is the currency you use to put attributes into your characters and stuff like that to make them better. And you essentially need to reconnect to get all the features back from 2K. It's like their DRM kind of thing. I don't really know why they do it, but it's there. And you will lose connection to the 2K servers if you do put it in sleep mode and then come back to it in handheld. That's a huge bummer because it is portable. You would imagine you'd take it out for a bit, maybe 20-30 minutes, put it in sleep mode and take it back out. It would suck to do that and then lose connection or whatever. And yeah, that would be pretty annoying. But that's not the worst thing that I experienced in handheld mode. The worst thing that I experienced was major lag in like cutscenes for some weird reason. So in 2K18, you get to walk into the locker room of whatever team you're playing for. And as soon as I started walking into the locker room of the Boston Celtics or whatever, it was really slow. Like my character was moving slow motion status. And then I played the whole game and it was perfectly fine, ran fine, whatever. And then after that, there's like an ending cutscene where you go back into the locker room. And I was talking to another one of my teammates on the Boston Celtics, and it was going really slow. So what ended up happening was it got completely desynced. Like the audio was playing perfectly fine, but 2K was in super slow motion. So it didn't end up, the cutscene didn't end for a long time because the audio finished up and then I'm still waiting for the video to catch up. And I was letting it just sit there and it just took forever. And then it had to sync to the 2K server and it stayed on that screen for like 5 minutes. And then I just ended up turning it off and turning it back on. Note that this did happen when I lost connection to the 2K servers, so I'm assuming that if you do lose connection to the 2K servers, you're probably gonna have to get out of your My Career, then go back in to alleviate this issue. I have not been able to replicate it as of this time, but that is something to take into account. Other than that, the Switch version of NBA 2K18 runs like a dream, man. I love it. I'm so glad that I ended up picking this up, and I'm confident that 2K will patch some of the annoyances that I have. I hope this video answers some of your questions. If you guys have any other questions about the Switch port of NBA 2K18, leave them in the comment section below. Maybe I missed something, maybe you're wondering about something. Feel free to let me know and I'll answer as much questions as I can. Thank you guys for watching this video. Again, if you're wondering why I've been so inactive, link in the description, click that. It'll tell you everything. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and I'm gonna catch you next time.